Guys, thanks for stopping by. In today's video, we are going to make my favorite cheese ball recipe 2 ways. My name is Teresa. I'm so glad that you're here. Now let's get started. Fun fact, I live about 45 minutes from Philadelphia, and in this area, Philadelphia cream cheese is king. I'm going to share with you 2 different versions. One is simple and easy. You can throw it together in just a couple of minutes. And then I have a showstopper that includes edible penguins with an igloo. I love to make a cheese ball because you can make it ahead of time and then pull it out when friends or guests arrive. Let's go to my kitchen. Both recipes will be in the description box below. You're going to need a medium-sized bowl, 2 8-ounce packages of Philadelphia cream cheese at room temperature. We're also going to need some pineapple. Now you can use either the pineapple tidbits or crushed pineapple. I have found that the tidbits are more readily available in smaller cans, which is all you need for this recipe. So if you're using a bigger can, you will have leftover pineapple for another use. We're also going to need some chopped pecans, and this is honestly the most expensive ingredient in this particular recipe. So I tend to buy the store brand from Walmart, and they are exactly the same. We're also going to need some frill picks. These have green, red, blue, and yellow tips on them. You can get these just about anywhere, and they are very inexpensive. I love having these on hand. We're also going to need 1 small carrot. Now I have peeled this one ahead of time. If you have baby carrots in your fridge, you can use those as well. I just happen to have regular carrots in the fridge, so that's what I'm using. We're also going to need some scallions. Now you can use finely minced white or red onion if you prefer. If you're not big on onions, you can certainly leave it out. I do like the flavor and color that it adds to the cheese ball. We're also going to need 2 different sizes of pitted black olives. Now it has been my experience that not everyone loves black olives, but I can tell you that they love these little penguins. Bear in mind that the olives are not going into the cheese ball itself. These will be used for the adorable penguin garnishes. You do want to pick up contrasting sized olives. So here I picked up extra large and small, and I'll show you why in just a moment. Another optional ingredient is the fresh herbs for color. You can use parsley or rosemary. I happen to have fresh parsley on hand, so that's what I'm using. You will also want to have an assortment of sturdy crackers. My family is partial to Triscuits, but you can use whatever sturdy cracker that your family prefers. We're going to start with 1 8-ounce package of softened cream cheese. This has been sitting on the counter for about an hour. You can tell when the cream cheese is at room temperature when it has a little bit of give to it. Next, we're going to drain the pineapple. Full disclosure, I will typically drain the pineapple juice into a small glass and drink it while I'm making the cheese ball, because why not, right? I'm using the pineapple tidbits. If you happen to have pineapple chunks or rings on hand, by the way, you can use those too. Just go ahead and chop them into smaller pieces. Regardless of what pineapple cut you choose to use, you will want to thoroughly drain and blot with paper towels. This way your cheese ball will not be too loose or be watery. This cheese ball is really super simple. I've just dumped the pineapple into the bowl with the softened cream cheese, and we're going to go ahead and trim our scallions. Now typically what I will do is split the thicker part of the scallion, the white part, and then I will use kitchen shears or scissors to snip all of it right into the bowl. The scallions give a nice balance of savory to the sweetness of the pineapple and the richness of the cream cheese, in my opinion. Now we're going to take a firm rubber spatula or spoon and thoroughly mash and fold the ingredients together until it's evenly distributed. I've pulled out a second small bowl from the cupboard, and you'll notice that this bowl has a domed shape. This will really help us to form the igloo part of our cheese ball. Next, I've lined the bowl with plastic wrap, and we're going to add the cheese ball mixture to the lined bowl and press it firmly into the bowl, pressing out any air bubbles. Next, we're going to put a square of waxed paper over the top and press it in to keep any air off of the surface. You can use plastic wrap for this step if that's what you have on hand, but I do find that the waxed paper releases more easily when we go to plate. Now we're going to just fold the plastic wrap and waxed paper in and pop the bowl in the fridge so that the cheese ball sets up and takes its shape. Next, we're going to make the penguins, and I have to say this is my favorite part. We're going to cut the carrot into discs about 1/4 inch thick. These carrot discs are for the feet and the beaks of the penguin. Now I'm cutting a V-notch with a sharp paring knife. This is going to be both the feet for the penguin and the beak because the little triangle that we're cutting out forms the beak. I do find that it's helpful to make the beak easier to work with to cut it in half lengthwise. So technically we get 2 beaks out of each triangle, which is good in case you have one break. I now have in my hand one of the larger black olives, and all I'm doing is splitting it vertically down the middle and removing a tiny sliver. Now we use part of the second package of cream cheese and we're going to stuff the olive, being careful not to tear it. Now I'm dipping my finger in cold water so that I can easily smooth out the cream cheese and also to clean up any edges. Next we take one of the small olives and with the same small sharp knife, we're going to cut a small horizontal slit and take one of the carrot beaks and gently insert it. Now it's time to assemble the penguin. We're going to start with the stuffed body, then we're going to take the head and place it on top. Now you'll notice that the frill picks that I have are a good bit taller than my penguin, so I need to trim the frill pick just a little bit so that the frill part starts at the top of my penguin's head. Then we're going to gently run the frill pick through the head all the way to the feet and press firmly so that the entire penguin is held together by the toothpick. And here's a look at one of the cute little penguins. Now I do recommend that you make the penguins no more than a couple of hours before serving time. If you make them too far in advance, like the night before, the color from the black olives can bleed into the cream cheese and mess up your perfectly white tuxedo part. If I'm taking the Igloo cheese ball to a gathering, which I frequently do around the holidays, I'll just line up all of the penguins in a container lined with paper towel and then assemble the Igloo scene once I arrive. It only takes a moment. Now these penguins need somewhere to live. We're going to make an igloo. We're going to start with the plate we intend to serve the cheese ball on. I picked this decorative plate up at Dollar Tree. We're going to spread a layer of about 1/4 cup of softened cream cheese onto the plate, and this is going to make our snow-covered ground. It does help to run the spoon under cold water occasionally just to smooth out your base. You don't need to cover the entire plate. We just need a layer in the center to secure the igloo and the penguins to the plate. It doesn't have to look perfect. It's okay if you have some bumps and ridges. In fact, when I look out my window after it snows, it's not all one flat surface. I've taken the cheese ball out of the fridge. We're just going to turn the bowl upside down and you can see that the cheese ball pops right out because of the plastic wrap. We're then going to peel the waxed paper off. I've peeled back the plastic wrap just a little and I'm almost using it as a handle per se. Then I bring the plate up to the cheese ball and set the cheese ball a little off center onto the snowy ground and remove the plastic wrap. If there are any imperfections in the dome shape, you can just smooth it out with a spoon that's been dipped in cool water. Next we make a doorway using a spoon as our template and carve out the curved igloo doorway. Fun fact, I like to take the doorway cutout and eat it on a cracker because at this point I can't wait to taste it. Now we're going to essentially frost the igloo with more of the softened cream cheese. You just want to do this part gently because you don't want to pull up the pineapple and the onion, much like when you're frosting a cake and you don't want to pull up any cake crumbs into your frosting. I've put the remaining softened cream cheese into a little bowl. We can use this for any touch-ups we need at the end. Now we need to cut 3 strips of cream cheese to form the sides and roof of the doorway. We're going to cut 2 of the strips into even-sized bricks and keep the 3rd strip whole for the roof. Now we're going to build a wall on each side of the doorway with 3 bricks per side, and we're going to shore up the roof by placing a 4th brick behind the stacks of bricks and adding the remaining full strip of cream cheese as the roof. And you can shape it to fit the doorway with your fingers dipped in cold water. When you get done building the doorway, it's going to look something like this. Now we're going to take a toothpick or frill pick, and all we're doing is scoring the top layer of the igloo to mimic bricks. And then I'm going to go in a circular motion around the top because that's how I envision an igloo. I like to use a frill pick as a flag topper, so you can stick a frill pick in the center if you like. And now we're going to add our penguin family. These guys have been hanging out in the fridge while we made the igloo, and we're going to place them in a random pattern. Maybe these two are having a conversation, and what's cool about their heads being on frill picks is that you can kind of pose them a little bit to look more animated. And then we're just going to gently press them into the cream cheese snow. And if you want to add some greenery, even though this is a snow scene, just to add a little bit of color and texture, you can add some parsley or rosemary sprigs. Rosemary would have been my first choice, honestly, because it would look like pine needles, but I don't have any rosemary, so I'm improvising here. And here is the completed Philadelphia cream cheese igloo cheese ball with penguins. How adorable is this? Your guests are going to be dazzled by this. Now, just in case you don't feel like Martha Stewart today, or you need a cheese ball that you can throw together in a couple of minutes, we're going to take the same base recipe and make a quick and easy traditional cheese ball. All we're going to do is mix the softened cream cheese with the drained pineapple and scallions, press it into a small bowl, and refrigerate it. Meanwhile, we're going to get started on the pecans. Now, even though the package says that these are chopped, I still find some of the pieces to be too large, so I'm going to give them a quick chop. Now we're going to coat the cheese ball in the pecans, and there are two ways that you can do this. You can put the chopped pecans on a piece of waxed paper or even a plate and simply roll the cheese ball into a ball and then roll it through the chopped pecans, or you can press the pecans into the sides all around. I like to add a colorful charger plate. This one is from Dollar Tree. They have them every year, usually in gold, silver, green, and red minimally. And then add your choice of crackers all around. And this one is ready to serve. If you happen to have any leftovers of this cheese ball after an event, which is extremely rare in my family, this is usually scraped clean at the end of an event. This cheese ball keeps very well in the fridge wrapped up, and it is delicious the next day on a toasted bagel or toast. If you enjoyed this video, be sure and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. I also do affordable fashion videos for ladies over 50, so if that describes you, you'll want to check out some of those videos. Pop over to Instagram and follow me over there. I would love to have you as a part of that community. I'm going to pop up a couple of my previous videos here, and I will see you next time.